which I said, why not for this election? And I'm surprised that they have before they came to the conclusion that they will not be able to. Because there's no miracle. We are all basic men. So, notwithstanding, okay. After the fire incidents in those 3 states, there were questions, will election be affected? And INEC reassured the country, no, they are prepared for it. So you can't come back today and cite those ones. Court judgment is not an issue because the ballot papers does not carry portrait. So I'm saying that basically there are 2 issues here. Not just the fact of the postponement, but delaying the announcement up to 2 a.m. this morning is unacceptable. If they had announced this a week ago, 1 week ago, a lot of people would have made different arrangements, and some of the court people have would have been avoided, and the kind of shock, this last-minute shock,
but it's not better to postpone these elections and make sure that you have free, fair, credible elections, rather than have elections
where wait a minute, you are putting
will not be allowed to vote?
It's not a choice between whether something should be properly done or done haphazardly. No, that is never a choice in a decent society. The issue is how you manage your process to ensure that the outcome is fine. So we are not about to suggest that, we could have gone ahead to do an haphazard election. No, that's not the point. Of course, every Nigeria expects, and we have worked hard to ensure that we have free and fair elections. We didn't work to have imperfect elections that might be manageable substantially. We want perfect election.
Do you still have confidence in the INEC board?
The confidence has to be rebuilt. It has to be rebuilt.
But right now it's not.
It has to be rebuilt. Well, it's up to you. If somebody promised to do something in the morning and he denies, you ask him, are you sure you are going to do that? He says yes. Then as you are walking to the dining table, he says no. And he said, don't worry, I know you're going to have lunch. You might have to say until I see the lunch. So, this is about confidence. It's not awarded. It is earned. And when you have earned it, you also have to sustain it. Now, the trust line, obviously, is weakened. But it can still be strengthened. In any event, we have no choice as a people who have committed ourselves to democratic rule. We have no choice but to ensure that this process work and work properly. We now have to go back as political parties to the people, reawaken them, reassure them that the votes will count, so that it will be worth their while to come out next week to vote. And for those who have traveled, they have incurred costs, to say that for everything in life, there is a price. Maybe it's one cost too many, but what can we do? We are not going to be detained by what is imperfect. We should be spared by the infinite possibilities of an election that may turn out to be much better next time. But the good news in all of this is that for those who are expecting war, crisis, beating, fighting, the fact that in spite of the disappointment, there's no riot anywhere, that shows that Nigerians are basically peaceful people. But I hope the INEC will not do anything again that will increase the trauma. And that is why I expected that the chairman shouldn't have any difficulty in calling a spade by apologizing directly to the Nigerian people. We are sorry for what has happened. It was beyond our control. We regretted we could have announced it much earlier. Stuff like that. INEC has really injured the psyche of our people. And as a Nigerian, forget about chairman now, as a Nigerian, when I see smaller people coming to look, everybody is a trade Nigerian election, we ought to lecture the world about democracy. Though we had it from 1960, before it was interrupted. So for me, in terms of national pride, this is not our best hour. But we'll overcome it, and we'll see reassert our leadership of the continent by having an election that hopefully nobody can question. But we are committed to one man, one vote. Because the long-term interest of Nigeria is better served by ensuring the sanctity of the ballot box. For people like us, we don't have a choice.
Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated, sir. Thank you.
And thank you for your question, too.
Sir, with this postponement, what is your general take? And going forward, what would you like to see change? So we face...
Since we have just 1 week, obviously, whatever is wrong is not major. Whatever is wrong cannot be too major. We had this last time, the last elections, we had it postponed for a totally different reason. Now, somebody from the APC, the chairman of the APC, actually came forward and was addressing INEC very harshly and wanted them to apologize. That tells us something, that the APC could not have been responsible for this. I mean, he said it in the open, and he knew that there are people from several countries who are watching. I think the stoppage is actually necessary because I want to believe on the intelligence of the chairman of INEC. He has done this severally and has done it well. If logistics is bad, then there's something within the system of INEC that needs to be controlled a lot better. Whoever is responsible for the logistics should have looked for a lot of things that will go wrong over time, and they should have had all their ducks in a row, which they didn't have. So I hope that by next week it will be a lot better. Okay.
Do you reason with the suggestion that the INEC should be unbundled?
No, not at all. In Nigeria, everything, if anything goes wrong, we always imagine that everybody else should just undo it. You know, if they're not there, you know, this is a country that watches more football than even the English people. They're such couch umpires that if anything goes wrong, then, you know, whoever it is blamed. No, it shouldn't be unbundled.
Okay, so what are you looking forward, on a final note, to on Saturday?
I think it's going to come out well. Nigeria is going to survive this and will do very, very well. And it will do very well. It will do well.
Thank you. What are your expectations after this postponement? What do you want to see and what don't you want to see?
After this postponement, first of all, we want to see that INEC are proactive, because for now they are not proactive. We have put so much trust beyond what they've done to Nigerians, and want Nigerians to be patient, and want them after now not to hear of any postponement any longer. And that when they are saying, okay, we want them not to say there's no more postponement. When they are talking of saying there's no postponement, are you talking that you won't stagger election? Even in US, in Britain, they stagger election. Where there's problem, they leave that place and continue. So today election should have held in those areas that you have materials, and those area that doesn't have material can continue even on Monday. So why in haste without consultation, and you will now postpone an election of this nature?
So do you agree with that recommendation that INEC should be unbundled? Because they have so much to grapple with. When
I was chairman of Inter-Party Advisory Council in 2012, I proposed 2 bills, which one is being sent to National Assembly today. I proposed one, Electoral Offences Commission, in which Mr. President just signed that bill and sent to National Assembly before this election. If that happened, that means you have all electioneering litigations will be taken care by that, and even police and other agents that are on electoral matter will be taken care by Electoral Offences Commission. And then secondly, we are proposing what you call a situation where you have, if a party win 25% and a party win 49%, that party goes home. And we say there must be a synergy where those parties that score some point from up to 20-30% must be given proportional representation in the election. Let's assume we contested presidential election and we are having 30-35% of the total election. We must be giving proportional representation to the National Assembly to propagate our ideology. That will help Nigerians to develop ideological political system, and it will promote, it will curb where people are desperate. Desperation will be curbed, and it will curb violence. With those two already, when people know that if you have 30%, he has something to take home, and you know that if you go into any malpractices, or if you violate any, or you carry violence, there are bodies that will prosecute you. People will balance it, and you will see that our election will be free and fair.
Wow, great. So how sure are we? What they didn't plan for well, within 4 years, do you think a week would be sufficient for them to achieve success?
They've told us that everything is on ground. We believe them again for a second time. Then we'll see, because we must be positive about our country, but there's caution. We should not throw caution into. We should watch them and pray that it works.